We're going to use this video to help you with work problems number 2. This video is going to go over the evens. So number 2 says use the triangle to find the work equation solve for distance. So remember to use the triangle. We cross out what we're trying to solve for, so distance, and we see that we have work divided by force. So distance equals work divided by force. Number 4 asks us to find the amount of work. And so remember that work equals force times distance. And here we're told that our force is 10 newtons times our distance, which is 8 meters. So I'm going to type in my calculator 10 times 8, and I'm going to see that my work is 80, and remember that the units for work is always joules. Number 6 asks me to find the amount of force. So remember that my equation solved for force is work divided by distance. The problem tells me that my amount of work is 60 joules and my distance is 7 meters. So I'm going to type 60 divided by 7 into my calculator, and I get 8.57, and that's rounded. We really get a much longer number. Number 8 asks me to find distance. Remember that our distance equation equals work divided by force. So my problem tells me that my amount of work is 1,000 joules and my force is 500 newtons. So 1,000 divided by 500 put into my calculator gives me a distance of 2 meters. Number 10, how far will a 70 newton crate be moved if 3,500 joules of work was completed? So my amount of work is 3,500 joules. My force, remember that my units for force is always newtons, so I'm going to look for newtons in my problem, and I'm going to see that that's 70 newtons, and it's asking me how far, so that means I'm trying to solve for distance. Remember my distance equation is work divided by force. So distance equals 3,500 divided by 70. I'm going to type that into my calculator, and I end up getting 50 meters. Number 12, Angelique uses a force of 40 newtons to move the grocery basket 18 meters. How much work did she perform? So I'm trying to find work. My force, remember force is always measured in newtons, is 40 newtons. And my distance, remember distance is always measured in meters, is 18 meters. My equation for work is work equals force times distance. And I'm going to look back at my problem and see that my force was 40 newtons times my distance was 18 meters. And I'm going to type that into my calculator, and I'm going to find out that my work is 720 joules. And finally, number 14, it asks what force is needed to lift a crate 300 meters if 15,000 joules of work are completed. So my work is 15,000 joules. I'm trying to find force because it asks me what force. And my distance is 300 meters. So I'm going to look back and see that my force equation is work divided by distance. And the amount of work identified is 15,000. And my distance is 300 meters. So I'm going to type 15,000 divided by 300 into my calculator. And I'm going to see that my force is 50 newtons.